And I was like, y'all are crazy as hell.
Yeah, that's more religion-based foundation, and then also slightly a bit of 1950s. It like dives further into the gender roles in that particular instance, stuff like that. So like if in this case, if the wife doesn't do the chores or take care of the household or procrastinates on doing stuff, the guy may actually put her over his knee and spank her, or paddle her, or whatever the case may be. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing.
Y'all was doing too much. That they were doing way too much. I was in the group like as an observer, and I was crying. I mean, I was like, they're serious. Like, oh my God, they're serious. Like, people were like, yo, I didn't do the dishes today. Oh my God, my bottom is gonna be so red. I was like, you know what?
You pee on me, I'm calling the police.
How did we go there? How did we get there?
You nut on me, I'm calling the police. That means you ain't got no condom on.
I swear, y'all take it to the extreme.
You donkey punch me, I'm shooting you in your goddamn eye.
Oh my God. And look, y'all, they like the men, they would be texting them. They would be threatening them, like sending up text messages like, yeah, when I get home, because they would be like, are the dishes done or something like that. They'd be like, if they ain't done when I get home, that's your ass tonight and stuff like that. Y'all, they'd be like, oh my God, y'all, look at what he sent me. Look at the text message he sent me.
I'm sorry, I'm lost. These are real people? What are we talking about?
Yes, I'm not necessarily in domestic.
Interesting.
I'm in the BDSM King. Yes, we're real people.
Wait, they're calling it domestic discipline?
Well, that's what Dr. Goddess was asking about.
Oh, that's one form, right?
Well, you ask people that's in domestic discipline, they will shut you down quick if you say they're BDSM and King. They don't want any affiliation with BDSM and King. It's kind of it's weird. It's a blurred line. It's a line that can get blurred quite easily, for sure, for those allowed to.
So y'all Google. You can Google.
Yeah. There's books on it. Books on that. Yeah.
Google domestic discipline, and then click on images, and you gonna see
gotta mess up algorithm.
Go into incognito first.
Go incognito. Yeah. But Google that and click on images and see it's a whole bunch of people getting spanked. There's cartoons, and I was like, y'all are out of your damn mind. And the thing is, like, they come. I mean, remember I was in the Black group, so like all the stats like about marriage or like domestic violence or like anything negative, in the Black community, they believe that this can all be straightened out with Black domestic discipline. And so I was just be in there screaming. I mean, I was like, why did I get introduced? Like, don't introduce somebody like me to this, because I can't. First of all, I mean, just the rules alone. Like, if I gotta keep the house pristine, I'm getting beat every day. Okay, so that can't happen. Then it was always like, it was just ridiculous. But they were serious, and I was like, and then there were a couple people that were like, I'm in college, I just can't concentrate. I really need someone to keep me together. And they was like, yeah, I can do it. Where you at? I was like, you know what? Because you can't study. You need to be spanked in order for you to study. I can't. That was a trip. That was a wild ride. When did I leave that group? I don't know, maybe like 6 years ago, something like that. But it was very funny.
What platform was this on, Dr. Guys?
I don't really want to. No, actually, it's on Facebook. So that's how I found
there's
it.
A lot of them on Facebook. A lot of different.
Yeah, that's how I found it. And I was like, when they say Black domestic discipline, I was like, oh, okay, like what's that? And then I didn't know anything about it. Then I realized that the Black people are getting it from the white people. Like literally, when I went back to like the creation of the group, all of the memes, the cartoons, the excerpts, they were all white authors and white men spanking white women in cartoon or in real life. And I was just like, I'm not understanding. Like, one, first of all, this is unacceptable even in the white community. And number two, why Black people why are you adopting this?
I don't know if it's fair to say that we're getting it from white people. Like that's a
they did.
Like even when it came to BDSM, people claim that's some white people shit. Why are we taking this on? That's white people shit. It's not. Like black people have ties to BDSM and kink and domestic discipline, just as gay leather men have ties to World War II, coming back and doing this thing and having this secret hanky code and so on and so forth. So no, it's not just white people. There were black people that were part of this from the beginning.
But isn't domestic discipline like a set?
Well, who is? Well, I mean, if you want to say we got it from white people, because when it comes to the religion, that is typically the foundation of domestic discipline. If you're talking about Christianity and so on, then yeah, for sure. But I guarantee you will come across, if you were still in that group, black people in domestic discipline that practice African spirituality and incorporate that into their domestic discipline, for example. But if you're talking about the religion itself that's being the foundation, I can see where you're coming from.
Well, I mean, that was the group that I was in. But I I did, like I said, it was very interesting just to read, like, all the stats about single mothers, for example. They believe, that could be solved with domestic discipline, and, violence, not studying in school, like, it could all be solved with domestic discipline. And I was just like, y'all, clearly I am one of the wayward ones. I'm one of the undisciplined in the community. I'm a detriment to the community because I will never submit to this bullshit. That was my assessment.
See, I need to get off the Clubhouse because I can see a way to monetize this, writing books about. I can't do this. No, I have to go. I gotta have some kind of standards here. I need to leave y'all alone. Dr. Goddess, this is your fault. I blame you.
I'm sorry.
You know what's so crazy? He said something about white people when I did a Google search, and it was talking about how African societies use physical endurance, restraints, body modifications, initiations into adulthood involving whipping, canning, fasting, isolation, public performance, obedience, and ritual bondage.
Don't threaten me with isolation. I try that as much as I possibly can from the public.
I guess I ain't gonna be African enough either.
Yeah, I can't do it.
I mean, Patty, she didn't even wait 2 seconds. I was like, Prince, there's been some people in here that have been very bad girls. She was like, not me. You come at me with this.
I even said, like, I'm gonna make it clear. If you're not on me, I'm calling the police because you should have had a condom on. We started off with a condom. Somehow you slipped that motherfucker off.
Oh, I am crying. Oh, my goodness. Y'all are too funny.
So what do y'all do about the people? How do you know the people are streaming in here? How do y'all find that out?
Isn't it usually the echo you hear in the background or something?
Oh, is that what it is?
What'd you say, Quinn?
I said, how do you find out? How do y'all determine that people are streaming the room? Like, how do you figure that out?
Oh, I don't. So other people tell us. They'll tell us in the back channels, or they'll say it in the chat, like someone's streaming the room. This particular kid guy is a weird dude. He's like obsessive. He's obsessed with streaming rooms.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know people was doing that prior to this, but I mean, that anonymous. Well, I don't understand why they even let. I mean, you could tell Clubhouse is trying to create some kind of parody by doing that, by allowing people to be rooms anonymously. Like, what would be the point of being in a room anonymously?
I do anonymous when I want to spy on other rooms, and I don't want them to know I would even grace their halls. But yeah, I don't do it that often.
So I did ask in the email about a 5-minute time limit, and I think a lot of people have been complaining from because I think Mel was in there earlier, and then I came into the Clubhouse room, and they were saying that people in the chat were saying this anonymous thing is going too far.
I mean, we can see what that was. I mean, obviously, there's nothing but a bunch of deviance on this fucking thing to begin with. Like, who couldn't have foreseen that being a problem?
Right. I get it if it's 5 minutes. Okay. 5 minutes max. Maybe even 10 minutes. But, like, to sit in a room, this fool sits in a room. Then he's really weird. This dude claims he ran, or they say he's ran for a seat. But he sits in rooms, has multiple phones. He is like, he has a mental health issue. This John Kittman guy has some type of mental health issue. I'm not the one to diagnose him because I ain't his doctor. I'm not a doctor. But just looking at his page, he's weird. Like at this point, he stalks people. He's a stalker.
He hasn't raised $1 for his congressional campaign yet.
He is a stalker. Like somebody need to do a health check on him. And whoever watches his page, he is crazy. If you ever see this stream or whatever video he's recording, this man is crazy, y'all. He should never win any office. He shouldn't even have a job at McDonald's. He's a threat. Until he gets some mental health, some type of behavioral person, something's wrong with him.
He'd be having rooms on Clubhouse, no one ever comes in.
Yeah, talking to himself. And then he got the nerve. I wouldn't even have that stuff recorded. I keep that to myself. If you go to his pages on Clubhouse, he has rooms where he's the only face in there.
Wait, but recorded that?
Yes, he has recordings. And you know how he doesn't turn the replays off. The replays is here. Look at him talking.
Is he talking? Is he talking or just sitting there silent?
Go check out the chat. I just put it in the chat.
Wow.
I hope he's recording this for his VA medical health specialist so that they can help him with his mental health issues because he's crazy. And he'll never, he can't work in public. He can't. He needs to have non-workable 100% VA disability. He can't be in society until he gets some type of help.
He even has a screenshot of our PTRs. This man is off the chain.
He's crazy.
I said last week that this guy had a mental illness, and I think it was Sloan who said to me, how could I, in the chat, why do I say he has mental illness just because he's doing this? This is obsessive compulsive behavior.
Yeah, it is quite long with him.
This is way beyond.
Salome be booty clapping and shit, and her ass won't come on stage no more because she's scared of the motherfucker. Girl, shut up at this point. That's why I was like, girl, shut up. You won't even come on stage because you scared. You want us to accept bullshit.
Who's that? Who's that?
Let me be quiet. She ain't in here. I'll wait till she in here in a second. She can defend herself.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I agree.
I don't like saying stuff about people when they ain't around.
I'm back.
Who's I'm back? My belly now?
Yo,
My eyes are dilated, and I couldn't see the machine trying to put in the PIN number to pay for my food. And my husband outside, and I'm trying to get his attention. It's a freaking hot mess. Unbelievable. When they check your eyes, they dilate your eyes. I needed those Stevie Wonder glasses that they be giving you.
Girl, these motherfuckers dilated my eyes one day and then have me sitting there for an hour and that's why I don't fuck with.
Because you was driving.
Right? No. Yeah, but this why
I don't drive.
In the Army, they be like, you cannot get your eyes dilated without having a driver. Civilians, these motherfuckers.
Yeah, that's the way they do it over here too.
Sit for an hour and be like, drive home. Motherfucker, I knew the stop signs because they red. I was like, they done lost their fucking mind.
They only had me sit for like 20 minutes and turn my ass loose, but then I was sitting in the store trying to buy my glasses too, so I guess I can't more time.
My husband, since he's the one that drives, he doubles up his thing. So he uses the little one they give him that curls up, and then he'll put his shades on top of those, so that he's able to drive. Oh my God. Well, they said I don't need glasses, guys. My eyes is getting, I know I can see the difference from last year to this year, but they said it's not as, I don't need glasses, reading glasses, should I say. Maybe next year I'll need them.
They told me the same too, but that's because my eyes was my eyes were messed up. So it's like sometimes I can be all good all day, and then there's these days that sometimes I'll blur.
I think I'm just tired at that point. That's what happens to me. Usually around 7 p.m. That's what starts happening to my eyes. They start blurring. I can't. When I look at the screen, trying to look at you guys is like.
So maybe you get some of those blue light glasses or whatever. Yeah, my partner wears those sometimes, and he got an ugly ass pair.
Maybe I'll put them on
a cute pair.
Welcome to old age.
In October, so I can say that I'm fishing.
But every time I get my eyes checked, they come out perfect. That's the bad.
Yeah, I was reading the smallest line at the bottom, and then they told me to read this book and this little paragraph, and it was the paragraph that was all the way at the bottom, and I was able to read it.
Yeah, that's how I be.
But I tell them at times my eyes go out, I be like that. What the fuck that says?
Yeah, that's what I had to tell them my eyes go out. That's why sometimes I'm like, Lord, let me get my glasses, because then my eyes are acting up. And then there's times that I just read, I can go 2 days with no problem, and then one day it's just start blurring automatically.
CEO, what happened? You came back because Brooklyn left?
I didn't know Brooklyn left. I just am on my little break in between meetings. Brooklyn's cool, but she just is out of control. It's like she don't care about evidence. A lot of people do. They don't care about the evidence at all. It's Rico, and it just doesn't seem like he did.
I mean, she said she's been to swingers parties, so it's a lot of that is, your normal and my normal is different. So you know what I'm saying? People just don't see anything wrong with certain things, but of course, everything has limits, right? Does this hurt the sex worker industry or not? I kind of think it does. No? What do y'all think about that? Because people are not going to want to pay these people.
It doesn't promote the sex worker industry, no?
Well, I was going to say it's going to be difficult for these people to get paid, right?
No, but it's always up front. What are we talking about?
Or they'll just figure out ways around it. It won't stop that. That's the oldest time.
Wait, do they take Venmo or not?
Some people do.
I'm sure they probably do.
Zelle, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal.
Also know that all these people wouldn't have come if they weren't subpoenaed. They wouldn't have even shown up. I mean, the basis of what they do is anonymity. In a lot of ways. But yo, this motherfucker is still streaming this shit. That's crazy. I'm watching my text messages pop up on this shit. It's crazy.
Wait, who's still screaming?
Kitover.
Yeah, whoever the
John Kitover.
I have a question. I just got an answer from YouTube that they received my report and they're going to be investigating.
When did you do yours? Because I need to see if YouTube emailed me.
Go to your junk emails, Patty.
I got it at 12:32. Pacific time. Hope you heard that, John. He usually ends up making the room private after that.